My precious and beloved child, my heart yearns to see you rise above the patterns of this world and embrace the higher calling I have placed upon your life. I understand deeply the struggles you face when others mistreat you. I see every unkind word spoken against you, every slight you endure, every rejection that wounds your heart, and every injustice you suffer. Yet, my beloved, I call you to a greater purpose, a higher standard, and a more excellent way. Remember that you are my representative on earth, created in my image, and redeemed by my Son's precious blood. Your actions should reflect my character, not react to the behavior of others. When you choose to respond with kindness to those who show you hatred, you display my divine nature dwelling within you. In my perfect wisdom, I have given you the golden rule to treat others as you would want to be treated. This is not a suggestion but a divine principle that flows from my very nature. When you follow this command, you rise above the natural inclination for retaliation and embrace supernatural love. My dear one, if you desire the fullness of my blessings, step forward in faith. Type yes, I need, and allow my grace to flow into your life, for I am always with you. Consider how you desire to be treated with respect, kindness, patience, understanding, and love. Even when others fail to extend these graces to you, I call you to be the one who initiates these actions. Your kind treatment of others should not be dependent on their behavior toward you, but rather on your identity as my child. I see how challenging this can be when you face repeated offenses or continuous mistreatment. The world teaches you to respond in kind, to give people what they deserve. But I remind you that if I dealt with humanity based on what they deserved, none could stand. My mercy triumphs over judgment, and I call you to walk in the same mercy. Keep your heart pure, my child, for it is the wellspring of life. When you allow bitterness, resentment, or the desire for revenge to take root, it poisons not only your relationships, but also your communion with me. A pure heart is like a clear spring, bringing forth fresh water that refreshes all who encounter it. Remember that your struggle is not against flesh and blood. Those who mistreat you are often wrestling with their own inner battles, wounds, and spiritual blindness. Instead of retaliating, lift them up in prayer. Ask me to bless them, to heal their hearts, and to open their eyes to my love. This is the path to maintaining your own heart's purity. When you feel the urge to respond harshly to those who hurt you, pause and remember my Son Jesus. Even as he hung on the cross, facing the ultimate injustice and cruelty, he prayed, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." This is the standard of love I call you to embrace. Your treatment of others should not be a reflection of their character but a revelation of mine. When you respond to evil with good, to hatred with love, to cursing with blessing, you demonstrate to the world what it means to be my child. Your actions become a living testimony of my transforming grace. I understand that maintaining a pure heart while showing kindness to those who hurt you requires supernatural strength. That is why I have given you my Holy Spirit, who empowers you to love beyond human capacity. Draw from His strength daily, for in your own power, this calling is impossible. Remember that your kind treatment of others is not a sign of weakness but of tremendous spiritual strength. It takes far more power to respond with grace than to react with vengeance. When you choose the path of love, you demonstrate the same strength that held my Son Jesus on the cross, not nails but love. Consider how your actions affect not only the present moment but ripple into eternity. Your choice to respond with kindness might be the very thing that opens someone's heart to my love. Your refusal to retaliate might be the sermon that speaks louder than any words could express. I want you to understand that treating others with kindness, regardless of their behavior, is not about denying your pain or suppressing your emotions. Bring your hurt to me. Pour out your heart in my presence. Let me comfort you, heal you, and strengthen you. Then, from that place of healing, extend to others the grace you have received from me. Keep in mind that your obedience in this area carries eternal rewards. While others may seem to prosper through manipulation, deceit, or cruel behavior, remember that I see all things. Your choice to maintain integrity and show kindness, even in the face of mistreatment, is precious in my sight. Precious one, if these words have touched your soul, let your light shine by pressing that like button. It is a reflection of the love we share, and I hold you close. When you struggle with this command, remember that you too have received my forgiveness and mercy. There were times when you walked in darkness, yet I showed you light. There were moments you deserved judgment, yet I extended grace. Let my mercy toward you be the motivation for your mercy toward others. I see every sacrifice you make in choosing to respond with love rather than anger. I understand the cost of holding your tongue when you could speak cutting words, of choosing to bless when you could curse, of praying for those who persecute you. None of these choices go unnoticed in my sight. Your pure heart is like a garden where I delight to dwell. When you keep it free from the weeds of bitterness and the thorns of revenge, it becomes a place where my presence can flourish. This purity of heart enables you to see me more clearly and hear my voice more distinctly. Remember that your identity is not determined by how others treat you, but by who I say you are. You are my beloved child, chosen and precious in my sight. Let this truth give you the security and confidence to treat others with kindness, regardless of their behavior toward you. When you feel tempted to respond to evil with evil, recall my word, which instructs you to overcome evil with good. This is not a passive response, but an active choice to combat darkness with light, hatred with love, and offense with forgiveness. This is spiritual warfare at its highest level. I want you to understand that maintaining a pure heart while showing kindness to those who hurt you is a form of worship. It declares to the heavens and the earth that you trust me as your defender and vindicator. It demonstrates that you value my approval above human validation. Your kind treatment of others, especially those who mistreat you, creates an atmosphere where my presence can move freely. It breaks down walls of hostility, opens doors for reconciliation, and creates pathways for my love to flow. You become my hands and feet in a world desperate for genuine love. Consider how your response to mistreatment can influence others. When you choose to return good for evil, you demonstrate the reality of my transforming power in your life. Your actions become a living testimony that there is a better way, my way of handling conflict and hurt. Remember that the way you treat others often reveals more about your own heart than it does about their character. When you maintain kindness in the face of cruelty, you demonstrate that your heart is anchored in my love rather than tossed about by the winds of human behavior. If your heart desires to dwell in my grace always, I ask that you support this ministry, my child. By doing so, you become a vessel of my blessing, helping others to receive the same grace I pour upon you. I want you to know that every time you choose to respond with grace instead of revenge, with blessing instead of cursing, with love instead of hatred, you bring joy to my heart. You show the world a glimpse of my character and make my kingdom tangible on earth. Your pure heart and kind actions serve as a light in the darkness. In a world where retaliation is the norm and revenge is celebrated, your choice to respond with love stands out as a beacon of hope. It points others to me and demonstrates that there is another way to live. Understand that treating others with kindness, regardless of their behavior, is a form of spiritual victory. It demonstrates that you are not controlled by external circumstances but led by my spirit. It shows that you have embraced my kingdom principles above worldly reactions. When others question your choice to respond with kindness to those who hurt you, remember that you answer to me, not to them. Your obedience to my command to love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you may not make sense to the world, but it is precious in my sight. Let your heart be encouraged knowing that your choice to maintain purity and show kindness is never wasted. Though you may not see immediate results, your faithful obedience is accomplishing eternal purposes. Trust me to use your loving responses to bring about my perfect will. Remember that your capacity to love others, especially those who hurt you, comes from my love for you. Draw deeply from my endless well of love. Let my spirit fill you afresh each day with supernatural love that surpasses human understanding and capabilities. When you feel overwhelmed by the challenge of responding with kindness to mistreatment, come to me. Let me renew your strength, refresh your spirit, and remind you of my great love for you. From this place of being loved, you can extend love to others. Keep in mind that your pure heart and kind actions create an environment where healing can take place both in your life and in the lives of those around you. Your choice to respond with love may be the very thing that breaks the cycle of hurt and opens the door for restoration. I want you to understand that your obedience in this area is a powerful weapon against the enemy's schemes. When you refuse to be drawn into patterns of retaliation and instead choose to show kindness, you defeat the devil's attempts to create division and destruction. Let your treatment of others flow from your identity as my child rather than react to their behavior toward you. You are royalty in my kingdom, and royal children carry themselves with dignity and grace, regardless of how others treat them. Child of mine, pass this blessing forward. Share these words with a soul who seeks comfort, and watch as my grace touches their heart. In your kindness, you reflect my love. Remember that every interaction with others is an opportunity to display my character. Your kind response to unkind treatment, your gentle answer to harsh words, your blessing in response to cursing, all these choices paint a picture of who I am to a watching world. Trust me to defend you and fight your battles. Your role is not to exact revenge or ensure justice, but to maintain a pure heart and show kindness to all. I am your vindicator, your protector, and your strong tower. Rest in my ability to handle those who mistreat you. Know that your decision to treat others with kindness, regardless of their behavior, aligns you with my kingdom purposes. It positions you to be used powerfully in my plans for reconciliation and restoration. Your pure heart becomes a vessel through which my love can flow freely. Continue to walk in this high calling, my beloved child. Though the path of love may be challenging, it leads to life abundant. Your choice to maintain a pure heart and show kindness to all reflects my heart and brings glory to my name. Child of mine, if this message has moved you deeply, show your faith by hitting the like button. It is a sign of our bond, and know that I walk with you always. Amen.